We're Dennis and Liz, full-time reviewers. 4 weeks ago, we crossed the U.S.-Mexico border. We're in Mexico! To start our second road trip exploring mainland Mexico.
Our goal is to RV from Nogales down through the Yucatan and back to Baja California in just 6 months. We crossed the border and hit the ground running, driving over 1,400 miles in only 8 days to see the breathtaking Dia de Muertos celebrations.
After visiting several new Pueblo Mágicos last week, we drove to Cholula, Puebla, a city we've stayed at several times before. We mostly spent the week working and resetting, running errands around town, dealing with a few problems on the RV, revisiting some of our favorite restaurants and foods from the area, and also making some pretty big changes. We also met back up with our cyclist friends from Pátzcuaro, Rob and Ruth, who will be spending the next week with us exploring the incredible city of Oaxaca. After learning about tacos de canasta, a local breakfast taco popular in the Puebla region on Taco Chronicles,
¡Tacos de canasta, tacos!
We really wanted to try some before we left. Luckily, on the way out of town, we noticed the signature blue basket outside a stall and quickly pulled over to give them a try.
Chicharrón. All right.
Tacos de canasta.
This is ginger, right? You can't go wrong with chicharrón anything. Chicharrón gorditas, chicharrón tacos de canasta. It's all good. But I'm actually really surprised at how good these tacos de canasta are. Like, I kind of figured since they're usually made the day before or really early in the morning, they're cold, they're drowned in grease, it wouldn't be really that great, but these are actually really freaking good.
This feels like a breakfast item. I'm glad we did this early.
The papa's good.
Yeah?
After scarfing down some delicious tacos, we began the 5-hour journey toward Oaxaca City. This ride was one of the most unique and jaw-dropping drives we've made in all of Mexico, taking us over several mountain passes and through a sea of stovepipe cactus. It was epic.
The next day, we hopped on a colectivo to head 20 minutes into the city center of Oaxaca. So today we came into town to try and get a little taste for the city. We ended up working a little bit longer than we wanted this morning, so we'll definitely be coming back to show you more. But it's beautiful here.
Yeah.
I think I was expecting like a really built up city, kind of like Morelia, like with kind of big buildings that had a big city vibe, because this is a really popular place to visit, but it feels so quaint and small and really kind of like tranquilo.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Sure.
So this place is known for amazing food. That's going to kind of be our first venture for the day, is trying a few of the most common foods.
The regionally specific foods from Oaxaca,
Yes.
which there are a few.
There's a lot.
A lot, yeah.
This we're just going to give you a heads up now. This video is going to include a lot of food.
Lots of food. Prepare yourself.
Let's explore Oaxaca.
Let's do it. We just made it to Market Lane Merced. We're getting a late start. We're all freaking hangry. And we decided to get Mamelas because this place came recommended. But the problem was not one particular stall came recommended. And we got bum rushed when we got here. And we decided to go to the one that wasn't screaming at us from 2 different angles trying to shove menus in our faces. So now we're about to enjoy some Mamelas. I ended up with the chorizo, which comes with obviously chorizo, queso, and beans. So they throw all that on top of a grilled tortilla and then smother it in asiento, which is apparently some sort of animal lard or fat, which I'm sure is going to be absolutely delicious. It's hot. That was really good.
He likes to make a mess.
No? Okay, done.
Memelas were a very good start to the day, but we are still very hungry. So today we're just going to be going to a bunch of different markets and trying all different meals. We just got an order of tlayudas, which is the most typical street food that you can get here. It's normally served at night, but luckily we found a place that's open now. They are massive. Of course, it starts with tortillas. So it's like a huge tortilla, like the size of a pizza. And then they put more of the asiento on it. Then they put beans, cheese, and then they kind of like fold it over. Sometimes there's lettuces, avocado. Ours has queso de Oaxaca or quesilla on it. But look like this is half. They cut it up for us to share. Oh my god. And a little bit of hot sauce, just like a little bit.
Don't mess up.
It's really crunchy. Another plaza where people are begging us to each come to their stall. Now we're gonna get nieves, which is
Ice cream.
they have a special type of ice cream here that is made pretty much like from dulce de leche, but they call it something different. Made with the flour from prickly pear, mixed with the flour from prickly pear.
Tuna.
So it's a super unique. It's called leche quemada con tuna. I don't know. It's like, it almost tastes like watermelon a little. Or raspberry. I don't even know how to describe it. But it's less of like ice cream and more of a mix between sorbet and ice cream. So it definitely has like the icy vibe to it. It's good.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a la clase.
So we are here at Casa Crespo. We are taking a cooking class. Since our video today is all about traditional Oaxacan food, there's no better way to learn about traditional Oaxacan food than taking a cooking class. Casa Crespo came highly recommended, and we're going to be doing a special indigenous cooking class where we're going to be learning different dishes from this area pre-Hispanic time. I think that includes mole.
Nice.
Two moles.
Oscar guided us through several pre-Hispanic ingredients that would have been traditionally cooked and eaten throughout Mexico, many of which are still used today, like dried chiles, medicinal herbs, cactus, garlic, and corn. But he introduced us to some unique ingredients too, including chicatanas, a flying ant from the Oaxaca region that only appears once a year.
Oscar taught us how to grind the chicatanas into a paste so we could add it to a mole with jitomate, which are red tomatoes, dried chilies, and other spices. Honestly, everything we cooked was way out of our comfort zone, which was a great thing. We got to explore new flavors, try new cooking techniques, and cook with ingredients we would have never tried if we didn't have his guidance. One of our favorite dishes from the entire night was stone soup, which is traditionally made using water from the river with rehydrated chilies, garlic, and whole shrimp, blended together, then cooked with pot stones just before serving.
We really enjoyed learning about the nixtamalization process of corn, which has been used throughout Mesoamerica for over 3,500 years to naturally remove the corn hulls, unlocking more nutrition and making it easier to digest.
We used different heirloom corn varieties indigenous to Mexico to make 3 types of tortillas. One mixed with cotija cheese and squash blossom, one with the ojo santo leaf, which is a traditional Mexican herb, and ceremonial tortilla that originates from Guanajuato.
Hey! I'm making an elixir that's supposed to cure hangovers with yerba de borracho.
Well, they use both names, poleo or yerba de borracho.
This is so fun so far. I'm loving getting to learn about the native ingredients, and it's also really cool to see how things would be made in the house. These are like, it's not always dishes or ingredients or styles of things that you can get in Mexico that you can just find in restaurants around the street. It would be pretty much impossible to make all of these moles and sauces and dishes and soups that restaurants often have fresh every day. That would be so tough. So we're getting to like really taste the flavors from like fresh ingredients being made the day of, which is something really unique.
Yeah. Super cool.
Now we get to eat.
Let's get to eat.
Gracias.
So this is the tea we just made, right? The cheese is super fresh. The corn masa is super fresh. The freaking salsa we literally just made 10 minutes ago. Like, this is probably gonna be the best meal we've had in Mexico. I would throw that out there. Yeah.
Oh, this is good. So pretty.
Yeah.
This is the best part of the cooking class, though. This is getting to eat.
Eating.
Finally, dessert. We have our masa, the chocolate. I believe we put vanilla. Maybe we put cinnamon. I don't remember. We cooked a lot of things today. It's like a pudding.
Yeah.
We definitely put cinnamon.
Just drop that on your.
We're from a table.
Oh man.
Dinner was absolutely incredible. This was such a fun and unique experience. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming.
If you're coming to Oaxaca, there's actually a bunch of different cooking classes you can take. There's even one in the morning where you go to the market. So you don't have to do the indigenous cuisine, especially if you're a vegan or vegetarian. You can do one of the other classes and you're able to accommodate more to your diet. But it's definitely an experience worth having.
Oh, for sure.
I'm so full. Okay.
The next day, we took a break from exploring to celebrate Thanksgiving. Being from Europe, it was Ruth and Rob's first American Thanksgiving meal, so we went ham, cooking an all-out vegetarian feast.
Chicks. Oh yeah. Yeah, like leap a little bit. Yes.
Thank you.
We sure were thankful to have friends to celebrate with and make Feast Day 2020 a very special one.
After a delicious, huge, incredible Thanksgiving,
We're gonna eat some more.
we're gonna eat some more. This time we came to a famous market for food stalls.
Which market is that?
The 20 de Noviembre. And there's just tons of food stalls all around. Most of them are serving kind of the same things like soups,
Clayudas,
memelas, mole negro, yes. So you kind of can't really go wrong at any of them. We always try and look for where there's people eating already.
And they're not screaming at us.
That's important. So we came to Lydia and we got enumoladas with mole negro, which are like enchiladas with quesillo, the cheese that is from this
And
region.
it's way better here than any Oaxaca cheese we've tried in any other part of Mexico.
If you're into meat, there's a whole section that is dedicated to just meat.
You get a big
A
basket,
platter?
like a canasta platter, and then you can just walk to each stall and get as much meat as you want, and then you check out and sit down close to the entrance.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of like a Brazilian steakhouse where you just get to tell them all the meat you want, but you load it up yourself on your plate. So if you're into meat, I definitely think it'd be a fun experience. There was tons of people eating there, but we want to break from meat for a little while. So it's important to know that the moles in Oaxaca are different than the moles that you might find throughout the other parts of Mexico. Each region kind of has their own specialty on their moles. For example, in Puebla, mole poblano is the most famous,
That's where
most
it originated.
recognizable mole. And I think what a lot of people think of when they think of Mexican mole. But in Oaxaca, they have a ton of their own varieties, including amarillo mole, and this one, which is mole oscuro or mole negra. I definitely think we made a good choice.
Sweet.
We walked across the street, literally right next door to 20 de Noviembre market is Benito Juarez. Whoa. Gracias. So one of the famous drinks you have to try when you come to Oaxaca is tajate. It's made from the mamey fruit, fermented corn, and then it has cacao. And it has this like foam on top, and it's from the way that they churn, from the fermentation process. They like churn it and it creates this foam. It's supposed to be really like thick and hearty. It's normally a breakfast drink, but you'll only typically see women serving this, and Benito Juarez Market's a good place to try it. So let's see. Oh, it smells good. Oh, it's delicious. It kind of tastes like caramel a little. Oh, it's good. It's not what I was expecting.
Are you supposed to eat the top?
I don't know. It's a little. You are?
I don't want to put it on, but it does look a bit like someone's thrown up a glass.
Thank you. I can't wait to finish this now.
It smells really, oh yeah. It does, it smells like chocolate caramel. You put a little coffee in this and yeah, Starbucks.
You can also find in this market huaraches, which are sandals that are made from recycled tires. They hand sew and dye the shoes. They're beautiful. They have all different styles for men, women, and babies. They're super cute. I kind of want a pair. I don't need more sandals. I have no more space, but they are cute. As if we hadn't had enough sweet drinks today after the tajate. This market is also known for their agua frescas, so we ended up coming to a very famous agua frescas place, which I'll have linked to our blog post about visiting Oaxaca. And I got a horchata con tuna, which is the flower of the prickly pear. We had tuna ice cream, nieves, the other day. I think I should have gone for sugar. Normally I say no to sugar, so they didn't put any extra in here, and I think I should have. It's like quite tart. Well, that was a fun market. There's something there for everyone. There's fresh food, goods, food stalls.
Artisanal goods, food stalls.
Definitely worth coming to. And I don't think it was like so touristy. I saw a lot of like...
No, it was definitely a local market. Like people were shopping there for ingredients, for dinner, for their restaurants, for everything. This is definitely a local vibe.
I didn't think he was gonna make it. We're going on a mezcal tour.
Salud.
Woo! It's good though. because this is. Ugh.
Oh yeah, we're making tortillas that aren't sold anywhere but in Casa
Crespo.
We're making tortillas that you can't find anywhere but Casa Crespo. Oh my lord, I can't say that. Capa.
Casa Crespo.
Casa Crespo. That's what I
Okay.
said.
Otra vez. Let's do it again.
Okay, one more time.